Sean is with us in Colorado Springs. Hey, Sean, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for taking my call, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So down and dirty, me and my wife, for a long time, have been on baby step 7, and truly baby step 7.
Good for you.
And we have our 6-month emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
We base that off of how much we know we can live off of in a year.
Mm-hmm.
We have saved up a lot of money. I just recently came back from deployment. We saved up a substantial amount of money that is just sitting there, but we fully fund our Roth TSP, Roth IRAs, 401ks, ESA. We have one ESA left that we can still contribute to. So the question is, I have an old Dave Ramsey beater truck, and everybody keeps telling me, hey, man, you're doing so well. Why don't you upgrade?
Mm-hmm.
My argument for this is I know I'm nearing retirement. The wife will still work. I'll be in retirement, and I still got to wait on that government pension to kick in. And so I don't know how much money I need to save, for that, any kind of contingencies that come up, or if I'm just being too stingy with myself and I get to live a little bit and upgrade. We are millionaire next door to Millionaires. So your policy is worth $1 million or more, cash for the vehicle, do it. But I got other things coming up, like I said, retirement. Do I upgrade or do I just hold off?
How expensive a truck are you talking about buying?
I don't think I can ever just out and out buy a brand new vehicle, especially right now. Vehicles are twice as much as they used to be.
Let's pretend that you did. How expensive a truck would that be? What would you spend?
$60,000.
And you have a net worth of what?
$1.2 million.
And a household income of what?
Approximately $100,000 to $120,000 a year.
Okay. The way I make decisions on things like this is I ask myself, because this is just a luxury item. Okay? It's just something fun to buy. That's all it is, right?
Not necessarily. It is. It doesn't have to be. The truck is a want.
But it's a toy that you're wanting to buy, and that's why you're holding off emotionally. If you take $60,000 cash in $100 bills, Uncle Benjamin Franklin, and you put it in the fireplace and lit it on fire and watched it burn, your life does not change 1 ounce.
Okay.
You've got $1.4 million, $1.3 million, minus $60,000. You make $100,000 a year. You're going to be just fine. If you burned it just to watch it go up the chimney. Now, I'm obviously not suggesting that that's ludicrous. Okay? But buying a truck that goes down in value is fairly close to that, but it's not the same thing. And so what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? I wouldn't be rash and I wouldn't be out of control, but sometime in the next 6 months, I would be the owner of a new pickup truck. I think you should.
Yes, sir. That's why I called your advice.
He's processing. You can hear it.
You can hear the gears grinding there, buddy. Do you hear what I'm saying? That you're not making an unwise decision. That's the point of my metaphor.
Yes.
You're fine. You've done a great job. You scored. Touchdown.
Well, that was my wife. She made me do it, so yeah. I thank her every day.
Well, that's fine. You and your wife. You're smart. Together, you're smart. I mean, you just did great. Touchdown. You just scored a freaking touchdown. Now do the touchdown dance. Buy the truck. Enjoy some of it. We're not being rash. I'm not suggesting you spend $1 million of your $1.4 million. If $60,000 ain't spit, because you've done such a good job. And this is the beauty of living like no one else, so that later you can live and give like no one else. Also, want you to be on a steady diet of generosity. That's important. You will get more enjoyment of the things that you actually own if you're also simultaneously generous. It somehow gives you permission to enjoy the nice things.
It's absolutely right. And I got to tell you, this is amateur psychology advice here, but I would go just do some test drives. Just ease into this, because he's got this, he's been gazelle intense. They've done it the right way. And he's still going, okay, what about the pension? And you're thinking, and the reality is everything you and your wife have done as a team together to walk the baby steps, you're not going to do something stupid. The very source of this question means you are not going to do stupid with money. He's won that battle. Allow yourself to celebrate, as Dave's saying, but not just with the truck, but to go, wait a second, we did this. We're going to be not just fine. We are millionaires, and we're going to be wise. And I go test drive a couple and just ease into it psychologically. Then I think it feels a little better.
If you have that money invested decently, 1.2 million will be 2.4 in 7 years.
Exactly.
If you don't add anything to it.
That's correct.
Right. So that you're gonna be okay, man.
Yeah, you've done great.
You're gonna be all right. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. This is why we teach this stuff. This is truly a Baby Steps Millionaire.
Yeah.
Truly what the reason, I guess one of the reasons the book's a #1 bestseller.
Yeah.
But
well, I've asked you about this before on the air, and I think it's good to do it again. This is a normal psychological response for somebody that was cheetah, gazelle intense, get away from the cheetah, go after it, and it's hard to adjust to it.
Yeah.
It's hard to spend money on something like that when you've been so disciplined.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder for those folks, for those of us that earned it the old-fashioned way. We earned it.
That's right.
That thing, that old commercial, right?
You better believe it.
It's a lot harder for us to let loose and enjoy the money than it is someone that gets sudden wealth.
It's true.
Sudden wealth, that's one of the reasons the Bible talks about it being dangerous, is it can come sudden, and somehow you don't have that trepidation about spending something. And that's why lotto winners end up broke more often than they do wealthy.
Yeah. There are no emotional calluses to remember. Nothing.
The bankruptcy rate is 4 times the national average.
Wow.
You're 4 times more likely to file bankruptcy if you won the lotto than if you didn't. That's pretty bizarre.
That is crazy.
The divorce rate is 6 times the national average among lotto winners. So it's like you couldn't afford to get rid of her before. I don't know. What is the deal, man? How does that work?
It's a great point, though, if you think about it.
Why does the divorce go up?
Yeah.
Back when it was hard, and it doesn't make sense. But I guess we always laughed and said Sharon didn't leave when we went broke because she didn't have a car. But I mean, that was that was somewhat of a laughing thing and somewhat true. So maybe there's something to it, right?
Oh yeah, but we know she really loves you now because
it's Valentine's Day. She has to. It's like federal law.
That is true.
It's federal law.
That is true.
So if you've been married 40 years, it's federal law. You have to love your husband on Valentine's Day. Even if he's Dave Ramsey, you still have to love him.
Yeah, I was unaware of this. I was unaware of this legislation.
Little known piece of it's a subcategory of the Roth IRA. But
they buried it in the budget.
They buried it in the budget, where they bury everything.
That's right.
Where great things go to die.